Live?
Oh, God. I think we're live.
We're live.
Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen.
This is what it feels like.
Oh, my God. We're back.
We're back.
We are back and, oh, God, better than ever. I'm going off screen because I got to be producer because none of y'all want to be producer for me. Angry.
And I just had an espresso, and I am pumped up. Let's go!
I just had some Mountain Dew. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Ramblers are back.
We're ready to ramble.
Ready to ramble. We are back for season 3 of AVI NFL, man.
I don't know if it's season 3, season 2 was. I don't know. It was a COVID year. Just all 2020. Just erase it. All right. It's a new year.
You know,
neither of us won the championship.
I was
so
damn
we can
close.
just erase it.
Damn close. You know what? I'll go ahead and acknowledge it now because I did not acknowledge it last season. Daniel, well done, sir. You kicked my ass in the championship game. Daniel Kittleson was our champion for last year.
Donkey Kong.
Yep. No, he did really well at the end of the year, but we'll see what happens this year. It's a new year, and oh my God, we have no COVID holdouts this year.
No COVID holdouts.
So yeah,
fans coming back.
Fans are going to come back. Like stadiums are going to be at full capacity again.
We're back. We're all back.
Oh man,
we're back in the video link room.
Yeah, we're back in the video link room. We're taking the Ferrari to go get a cheeseburger.
Yeah, we are.
But we're back. So this is, like last year, our weekly preview system.
It is.
We are going to talk about all the players to watch in the different divisions, going 1 week at a time. And this will be the format for the next 8 weeks going forward, with a special episode at the very end. I guess I should motion this way. Special episode at the very end that will be our draft preview. So that should happen by our timing right before the draft happens.
Right.
So perfect timing for us to get started with this. Perfect timing to get you back into football.
Hell yeah.
And we got a lot of stories to talk about. A lot of shit happened over the summer. And I'm already going to get, hell from YouTube for saying shit. But you know what? I don't give a shit.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
So we're starting out like that this year. And you know what? First and foremost, let's start off with, I guess, as you can see behind us, NFC South preview. We're going to start off with the reigning Super Bowl champs division. But before we get into that, we do have a little bit of news this year. And we already hit on a little bit of that, and that nobody opts out for COVID this year. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of get into more of our divisional news here. We don't have a lot of news in this division. It's not that crazy moving of a division necessarily. But, Dan Arnold has come out recently, and he has expressed that he is ready to really take a step forward this year as tight end for the Carolina Panthers.
You love your tight ends.
I do love my tight ends, even though I never get a good one.
I was like, who's Dan Arnold?
Dan Arnold he actually had almost 500 yards receiving last year for Arizona and had like 6 touchdowns.
Oh yeah, he was Arizona.
On a team that's relatively stacked with talent. Christian Kirk did not do crazy last year, but dude's good. Dude's a talent that is ready to break out.
Okay.
And then Hopkins and Fitzgerald on that team. So
yeah, that's an offense.
It's hard to get a lot of targets when you got that sort of offense going on. But now that he's with Carolina, and who the hell does Carolina have? So yeah, Dan Arnold ready to have a bigger role in Carolina this year.
They have Sam Darnold.
Yeah, we will definitely get to that here soon. Last little piece of news, JPP still has all of his remaining fingers after July 4th.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I know a couple of years ago as a Giant, he lost a handful. Get it?
Get it. I get it. That's
and now he has stayed safe through this 4th of July. Good job, JPP. Way to keep all them fingers in a row, I guess. Keep his fingers on hand.
I don't even know what they looked like. They're probably all discombobulated, but anyway.
So something like that, I think.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, so that's the news. I mean, not really terribly much to get into with this division, but let's get into it because everybody wants to know who the players are that they need to target this year in fantasy football.
Everyone wants to know.
And we're going to start off with our championship team, our Super Bowl winning team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because who doesn't love the team that our boss doesn't love? Right?
Yeah. I mean, Tampa Bay, AVI headquarters, and so they're all ecstatic, I imagine, the executive team for AVI.
Oh, yeah. I know that the CEO has a big old Tom Brady jersey in his office and Tampa Bay stuff everywhere, so.
It makes me cringe.
Yeah, but here we are. Tampa Bay with old man Brady. Won the Super Bowl last year. He was what, 41, 42?
Yeah, the dude just doesn't stop.
No, he does not stop. Does not matter what team he's playing for. Tom Brady is the GOAT. I hate to say it.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that anymore.
Yeah, no.
For a while, I was like, no, he's not. But no, he can't argue. There's no comparison to anybody else.
No, you really can't. 7 rings for him. I mean, damn.
It's not even a comparison to.
When you look back, like 10 years ago, most Super Bowl wins a team had was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Now Brady himself has 7. Because that's Tom Brady. But Tom Brady going into this year is going to be the hands down guy for Tampa Bay as their quarterback. Not projected the same as he was last year necessarily, but still a top tier quarterback and somebody to definitely target. If he goes down, though, not too much real help behind him, though, with Blaine Gabbert, Ryan Griffin. And they did draft Kyle Trask this year.
Yep. No, they had pretty much the same team as last year. That was one of the big stories in the offseason. They were able to bring mostly everyone back. I mean, it's Brady. Everyone always is like, he's too old now. He's going to go down. But no, I mean, shoot, if you can grab Brady at a decent pick, go for it. I mean, he's the most consistent, reliable guy out there.
He's constantly a top 10 quarterback. He is a great pickup, even though, everybody says this is the year he's going to fall off.
Yeah. Yep, I'm not going to be one of those guys that says that anymore.
No, I can't discount. I can't discount Tom Brady anymore. So,
no.
And especially with his wide receivers, man, he's got Brown back, he's got Godwin back, he's got Evans back. Scotty Miller had a nice handful of games.
He has all the same people as last year, and last year was the year that just like me was like, he's not going to do that well. He's a new team. It was the Patriots. It was their offense. It was Bill Belichick's offense that got him to success. No, he proved everyone wrong.
Yeah, no, he's just a crazy good quarterback, man. And
he's just smart. He's not like gonna impress everyone with throwing it 100 yards down the field or doing some miraculous plays.
He's not going to run for 150 yards.
He just
get 5
throws
touchdowns.
He just makes good decisions. He just throws it where it needs to go. He runs the offense as it needs to be done. He reads the defenses, better than anyone else. And I hate Tom Brady, but you have to respect him. You cannot be a football fan and say you don't respect him because he just wins.
Yeah,
he just wins.
Yeah. And, I mean, with an offense like they had last year, you don't really need to do terribly much to help that along. They really this year apparently just focused on defense in the draft and really helping out their defense. Got an edge rusher with their first overall pick. So, they seem to be very happy with their offense. And, I mean, this year with their tight ends, too, they're getting O.J. Howard back.
O.J. Howard,
From an Achilles injury, plus they got Gronk. Yeah, he's a year older Gronk, but...
He was never that old when he retired anyway.
He was like 28, 29 when he retired.
He's in his 30s,
yeah,
so, I mean, it's
lower
not...
30s?
He's fine.
He's still Gronk.
Yep.
It's still going to be the Gronk Brady show, so... But then, you got Cameron Brate there as well, who's a decent tight end as well. So all around, this offense is really, really good. My only question is, how do the carries break up between Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones? Because that right now is the only real questionable spot. They both did really well last year.
Where's LaShawn McCoy? Is he gone?
He's not there anymore.
Did he retire?
Yeah, I don't know if he retired or not, but he is not on that offense anymore. That is one of those.
They have enough weapons anyway, so.
Yeah, they got Tremaine Pope now, CJ Precise, and Keyshawn Vaughn, which I was really high on Keyshawn Vaughn last year. I thought he was going to have a breakout year with all of the confusion between Fournette and Jones and everything. I thought Vaughn was just going to step right out there and say just to everybody and just go. Just take it.
Just go.
So, yeah, no, I think that that's the only spot that's a little questionable for me. I don't know if I would take Antonio Brown necessarily high. I personally just won't take Antonio Brown because of all of the allegations out there behind him. I don't think it's moral. I don't think I would morally choose a player like him anymore, but that's for me. That's now something that, if people are okay with what he's done and what's going on with him and the unreliability that something could happen mid-season.
No, I mean, you can make it's a high risk, high reward situation.
Yeah, but I mean, if he does play all year, he can be absolutely phenomenal. He is a great player.
Yep.
So going on to our next team, we got the New Orleans Saints.
No more Drew Brees.
The age of Brees is done. Oh. I mean, I feel like I've been talking and listening to Drew Brees since 2000, like the year 2000.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was on the Chargers for a while.
Yeah, I mean, he started off his career on the Chargers, deemed too small and not good enough, traded to New Orleans, when they got Phillip Rivers. Well, actually, they drafted Eli Manning, but then traded with the Giants for Phillip Rivers, but different story. If we're going to get it right, we're going to get it right.
Get it right.
Yes, technically, Eli Manning was not a draft pick of the Giants. He was chosen by the Chargers, which outed Drew Brees. But, I mean, Drew Brees has had a hell of a career.
Oh, yeah, no, he's, again, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, absolutely.
Broke all the records out there. Won 2 Super Bowls? 1 or 2?
I think 1 Super Bowl, 2 appearances. I think he won. Because he lost to the Colts, I want to say, right?
I don't know about that.
With Manning? I don't know.
He won at least one. He won at least one.
Yeah, no, he definitely won at least 1 Super Bowl, if not 2. So if you want to put him in that, Eli Manning tier as far as Super Bowls won, I think he deserves it regardless of whether he did or not.
Yeah, right.
But, they lost Drew Brees. They lost Emmanuel Sanders. So there is a lot of question marks going forward with the New Orleans Saints. Like, who is going to be their starting quarterback this year? Jameis Winston, who they just re-signed to a huge contract.
Was it huge?
I think it was relatively big, especially for somebody who is conceived to be the backup, because Taysom Hill did not do very great. He can run the ball, and he is a great change of pace quarterback guy, but I don't think Taysom Hill is the guy for the future there.
It is pretty interesting to look at their quarterbacks right now, and the fact that they didn't draft.
They drafted Ian Book in round 4, pick 28.
Well, so they should have.
Nobody that's going to be like that breakout talent, but at the same time, maybe they're hoping for a Tom Brady situation with a late round draft pick guy.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a very interesting year for the Saints.
Yeah.
What the hell are they going to do without Brees?
Yeah, they're going to rely on Kamara. I think Kamara is going to be a really high draft pick now, but at the same time, do you really need to worry about the deep pass threat, or do defenses put 8 in the box and just solely worry on Kamara? Because, even though you still got Michael Thomas, who's throwing him the ball? Jameis Winston has proven in the past that he can have huge numbers.
Right.
But he will throw just as many interceptions as he will touchdowns at the end of the year. Taysom Hill, he's going to take a lot of rushing touchdowns away from Alvin Kamara. He's going to take a lot of passing touchdowns away from, Michael Thomas. So what does this Brees leaving element really do for this team now? That's the big question that I think, is really going on with this team. Because, look at the wide receiver situation, too. Traquan Smith is their number 2. And then they have a bunch of who the hell second and third year players.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's normally you can always be like, yeah, Saints, of course they're going to be 11-5, 12-4, 13-3, going deep in the playoffs. But now this year, it's like, I don't know if they will be.
Yeah, no, with Breeze gone, they could be, I could potentially see a 4-12 team in NOLA. Yeah, they do have a good defense.
And if you look at everyone else in the division, they got the Buccaneers. Well, yeah, they're the same team as last year, so they're good.
Yeah.
And then you got the Saints, who we don't know. Panthers, probably not good. And then I don't know who the fourth team is.
Atlanta.
And they're always 50-50.
Yeah, they're kind of hit or miss, but I'll get to my theory on Matt Ryan this year. So, and then the tight end group for New Orleans is the Who the Fuck crew. That's what I'm dubbing them. You got Garrett Griffin, you got Dalen Schoner, Adam Troutman, and Nick Barnett. Nick Barnett is the guy that's like projected to be that top guy for them, even though I know Garrett Griffin's name, besides the fact that he's just got an awesome first name. But yeah, Nick Barnett is kind of the guy that's projected to be the top tight end there, which sucks for them because I guess they lost Jared Cook.
Yeah.
And who knows where the hell he's gone off to, if not retired. But yeah, this Saints team is really kind of scary for me. I don't know if I would
invest much.
Except
for Kamara.
But even then,
then they're going to load the box, I know.
Yeah, I mean, he's not Derrick Henry, which Derrick Henry, you look at it, he goes up against
it doesn't
eight in the
matter
box.
Who he's going against.
Yeah, he's got, I want to say I saw a stat recently that was Derrick Henry went up against 8 in the box more times than any other running back in the league last year, and still had more rushing yards than any other running back. So, yeah, it doesn't matter for Derrick Henry, but Kamara is not Derrick Henry. Who knows, though? You get those, rushing points and everything, so, or those receiving points with Kamara. And
I'd be curious to see where he goes in the draft. I'm sure he's still going to be a top 5, top 3.
Oh, he is projected for top 2.
Okay, well,
this year.
Probably won't be the one that grabs him. But
I probably won't be either. But again, it all depends on draft position, and I actually have an idea on draft position. So, yeah, we'll get to that as well. Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers. They got Sam Darnold this year via trade, which I don't know how great that's going to be for them. I feel like in the right situation, though, it could be a step up from Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't know. I like Teddy.
We'll see what happens with Teddy here in Denver. But
all 3 of their quarterbacks I actually know and I actually kind of like. I don't like, well, except Sam Darnold I don't like. But Will Grier, he used to play for West Virginia, and he killed it actually in college.
Yeah.
But I think he either went late round or undrafted, I think due to personal issues off the field or something. But he has potential.
Anybody that was drafted is indicated on the script there with an R4-21.
Well, I mean, what's Sam Darnold?
Yeah. Well, no, if they're rookies this year.
No, Will Grier has been here for a couple years.
Okay.
Yeah, and then P.J. Walker, he played in the Arena Football League.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about him.
He's the one that was like the best player in the Arena Football.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like those 2 guys better than Sam Darnold, but
yeah, I don't know. I feel like any of these is kind of a lateral movement from Teddy Bridgewater. I have never been a big Teddy Bridgewater fan. I felt he was very meh of a player, but
I think he's meh, but I think he's a little bit more meh than Darnold, or better than Darnold. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I think Darnold was in a really shitty situation.
And that's true.
Really terrible coaches and
I'd be curious to see how he does on a new system.
New team. And he's getting Robbie Anderson back as a wide receiver, which those 2, when they were together in New York,
that's a good point.
They had really great chemistry. They were really on point. Robbie Anderson was over 1,000 yards receiving, had double-digit touchdowns. So that could be an X factor right there.
And it also might be a reason why they traded for Darnold in the first place.
Very well could be.
Interesting.
So, in addition to that, they're absolutely getting Christian McCaffrey back that right there is just a huge boost to their team because, I mean, he missed 13 games last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucked. And, yeah, Mike Davis was definitely the beneficiary of that, and he got a huge contract in Atlanta.
Atlanta, huh?
We're going to get to him right here.
Wow. Okay.
But, Christian McCaffrey, he's there. And my new favorite running back, Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard, drafted in round 4, pick 21 this year, along with Reggie Bonifant, who's been there for a couple years now. But, yeah, I'm hoping that, if McCaffrey happens to go down again, Chuba Hubbard. That's my guy. Chuba Hubbard. And I personally, I would probably, if you get Christian McCaffrey, you might as well invest late round pick, round 13, 14 into a Chuba Hubbard. You might as well get that stack just in case because you never know what's going to happen this year, especially with what happened with McCaffrey last year. I would have killed to have Mike Davis, but yeah.
No, that's a great name.
Yeah. Tight end wise, they got Dan Arnold again, who's really trying to take a step up. And, what's the best, most reliable option for a terrible quarterback like Sam Darnold?
A big tight end.
A good tight end, and Dan Arnold, I think he can be that tight end. They also did draft Tommy Tremble, round 3, pick 21, pick 20 this year. So they're looking to help their tight end core, but not terribly much. I think they are investing a lot in Dan Arnold because, I mean, who was their tight end last year?
I don't know.
Yeah, who the hell knows? Nobody good. But then, yeah, like we were saying before, Robbie Anderson is on the Panthers as well. That could be a really good matchup again with him and Darnold.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad pickup, I don't think.
Getting that stack or something like that going on might not be a bad call. Robbie Anderson is probably one of the better calls that you can make on this team. They did invest a second-round draft pick into Terrence Marshall Jr., though, another wide receiver. See what happens with him, and then they still have DJ Moore.
Yeah.
So
that's not a bad 3.
It's not a bad team. If their defense decides to be halfway decent this year, they could take second in their division.
I could see that.
I could absolutely see the Panthers being second. I don't think they're going to beat the Bucks, but they could be a second-place team. One little fun note with these guys too is out of their 11 draft picks in the draft this year, only 2 of them were in the original positions. They traded 9 other picks and got like 9 other picks in return, and just they were all over the board this year. All over the place. But you know what? They felt that they needed it. And yeah, it was a good mix of talent that they got. 11 rookies coming in, so here's hoping that they can see a boost to their team like that. The final team is another real questionable team, I think, in this division, the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, they're always a head scratcher.
Yeah, and this year especially, they lost Julio Jones.
That's a big loss.
That's a huge loss. He's been there since like 2010 and has been one of their consistently one of the best players in the league.
Yep.
Not just on their team, in the league.
And they don't have much depth at receiver now.
No, they really don't. I mean, Ridley and Gage are the only 2 that are really there from last year. They didn't, get a late round wide receiver in Frank Darby, who they're hoping will be that outside guy, whereas Gage is going to be their slot guy. But I don't think you go and you get a 6th-round draft pick and hope that they come in and be a Julio Jones replacement, or even a Calvin Ridley replacement if you're hoping Ridley is your Jones replacement.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions regarding this team right now. However, Matt Ryan is an X factor. If you look at his fantasy points throughout the past decade, good year, bad year, good year, bad year. Good year, bad year, good year, bad year.
50.
Dude, last year was not a great year for him.
So you think this year will be the year?
It could be an on year for him. The way he's been going, Matty Ice can take a step forward. But if he doesn't, I think it could be the end of his run in Atlanta. I think they're getting fed up with his shit.
It's getting close to the end. I could see that if he has a bad 3-13 year or something, I would bet money that they would move on from Ryan and draft a quarterback, and he would be looking for a new home somewhere else.
You think if they go like 0-5, 1-6, something like that
they don't have any.
They pull Ryan?
If they had a
they got
that
AJ
they wanted
McCarron,
to see,
but
he's been around forever. He's just a backup, but
he could be the Fitz of their team, though, where he's just kind of that consummate guy that's going around the league. And
yeah, I don't know. If they had someone that they had drafted early in the draft behind Ryan, then maybe, but I don't know if they would go away from Ryan for AJ McCarron at some point. He's been there for too long. I don't know if they would do that to him, but
yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. They did happen to get rid of Todd Gurley after last year.
Where is he
and they
now?
did get, he's still not in the league.
Wow.
He is still a free agent. So Todd Gurley is still out there just kind of floating around. I personally feel like he's probably not going to be picked up until we get well into like preseason. Until like an injury hits or something like that. I don't think he's going to be picked up for a team.
Yeah.
But they have Mike Davis now and Cordero Patterson, which, I mean, who really cares about Cordero Patterson?
He's
been around for everywhere.
Running back.
Yeah. Mike Davis, on the other hand, had a great year last year in Carolina. Hoping he can continue that. Signed a pretty big deal to go to Atlanta.
Yep.
So they're really banking on him being the potential future because he's a young cat, man. He really can have.
He made most of his opportunities last year.
Oh, yeah, definitely did. Picked up with their 4th pick this year in the draft, Kyle Pitts, a huge tight end.
Yeah, that's going to be their bread and butter is the tight ends this year.
Yeah, personally, man, I think that Kyle Pitts could be a top 5 tight end this year.
He could be.
I don't think he's going to get up to like the Darren Waller, Travis Kelce type echelon, but I mean, I think he can be up there with like the Hawkinsons, the what's the guy from the Ravens?
Oh,
I am blanking on his name right now, and it makes me sad.
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews, yeah. I think he can be right up there with them. I think he can be a top 5 tight end. And personally, I think this year is going to be a breakout year for Hawkinson up in Detroit. Personal opinion, though. Personal opinion. But Kyle Pitts went round 1, pick number 4. So they really think that very, very highly of him, that he's going to be a star. And then, 4 of their 9 picks went to offense for Atlanta. So, they're trying to shore up that defense because really, when you look at what happened last year, man, so many of their games, like, they had in the bank.
Yeah,
and then defense just let them down.
Yeah, it was always about the defense that gave up so many yards and big plays.
Huge amount of points there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, they were always an offense that looked like on paper that they could be a top 5 offense, with those 2 dominant receivers and then a good running back, and Todd Gurley and whoever else they had behind them in the pass.
Yeah.
And then tight ends, they've always been pretty lucky with that too. So they usually are pretty good on paper, which is why I believe their coach got fired, right? Or they got a new coach, or maybe?
I think, Dan Quinn.
Yeah, he's gone.
He got fired.
So we'll see what happens this year. I mean, Matt Ryan's not a bad quarterback. They've lost Julio Jones, which is huge, but they picked up a top 5 or a potential top 5 tight end.
Not going to make up for Julio Jones necessarily, unless dude really becomes Travis Kelce.
Right.
If he becomes Travis Kelce, then Julio Jones, who the hell cares?
Who the hell cares?
So,
there you go.
But that's our divisional preview, and right now we got a couple of kind of where these players landed last year in our rankings, as well as where they're projected for this year. And we're just going to shoot through this real quick because this is kind of boring. But like Matt Ryan last year, number 12 quarterback, projected to be number 19. Losing Julio really hurt him.
Yeah.
Brady, number 10 last year, projected to be number 8. Still thinking he's going to have a decent season. And I think it's a good call.
Yeah, I think around the same.
Dude, I'm watching like mock drafts already, and people aren't drafting Brady until like the 10th, 11th round. And it's just like, man.
Do you, dude.
Yeah, if you can wait until the 10th, 11th round for Brady, that is a fucking steal. Jameis Winston isn't even ranked. So
That's funny. Wow.
Yeah. Taysom Hill was 25th last year. Projected to be number 32 this year. So, like, the worst quarterback in the league
But
this
right
year.
behind him,
Oh, right in front of him.
In front of him.
Yeah, is Sam Darnold, who was number 30 last year and is projected to be number 31 this year.
Whoa.
So, man, it really is just one really good quarterback in this division and two shitty ones, one mediocre. Yeah, it's not looking that great for quarterbacks in this division this year anymore, especially with the loss of Breeze.
someone has to step up. I mean, they all go against each other 2 times a year in that division, so someone has to win.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Brady will win every single
Brady.
one.
Yeah.
As far as the running backs go, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones. Leonard Fournette last year was 37th ranked running back. This year is projected for number 27.
Yeah.
Ronald Jones, on the other hand, was hit number 16 last year. Is projected for number 35 this year.
So as you can see, they would appear Fournette's going to probably take over the lead back role this year, and Jones would be behind him.
Yeah.
And the reason that those rankings changed too, I think, is because, again, Sean McCoy's not there anymore. So they give Fournette more of an opportunity, but that's still a good 1-2 punch.
Oh, it's a great 1-2 punch. And really, if you get either of these guys, both of these guys, I don't think it's going to be a bad call. I think they're both going to end up better in the rankings than 35th or 27th overall.
Sure. Yep.
Alvin Kamara, last year he was the number 2 running back, projected to be the number 1 guy this year.
No, again, I would be a little skeptical if I was the first overall pick. I don't know if I would grab him just because of what we discussed before. You kind of know what the Saints are going to do now. They're not going to pass the ball like they usually do. They're going to have to adapt, and they're going to have to do some running a lot more than they normally do. And yeah, that could benefit Kamara if he's able to make something happen with even with the 8 men in the box or whatever. But yeah, I mean, or he can get stuffed and have a down year.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a risk, in my opinion, but especially at being first overall, you got to be, surely confident about who you're drafting.
Yeah, you have to be really confident about that call. Like last year, I was super confident about Christian McCaffrey. That did not turn out well.
I figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, even I was talking to Doug at the start of last year because I was talking to him about trading down and not having that first overall draft pick, and he looked at me. It was just like, dude, I don't think I want McCaffrey. I feel like he's going to get injured. Yep. I'm going to take Zeke. Yep. And Zeke had a really down year last year too. So
yeah, no, I mean that's what happens, and that could the same thing that happened to McCaffrey. I could easily see that happening to Kamara too, where he is your offense, and then shortly after getting that many touches every game, at some point you are going to get hurt, and that's what happened to McCaffrey. So I predict that's going to happen to Kamara too.
And it's not like Kamara really stayed fully healthy all of last year too. He missed time as well, which allowed Latavius Murray to come in and get some good yardage as well. He was the 34th ranked running back last year. This year he's projected for 38th. But I think he'll do better than that just because of the whole situation that is there in Atlanta or in New Orleans. McCaffrey last year, 51 ranked overall running back, which is insane considering he only played 3 games.
Yeah.
51, almost top 50 guy on just 3 games, which this year he's projected for number 2. I don't know if I would necessarily believe that. I personally still think that McCaffrey can still be the number 1 running back. He probably should still be the number 1 running back. And if he stays healthy, I think he's going to have a phenomenal year this year.
I agree. I can't deny that. I would probably choose McCaffrey over Kamara.
Yeah. Mike Davis to round out that division's running backs of note. Last year, he was the number 14th ranked overall running back, which is great considering he, missed 3 games because Christian McCaffrey played in those. This year he's projected to be the 15th ranked running back, which isn't bad. He's still a top 2 running back. He's a number 2 overall running back. I think he is still a great pickup if you can find him come round 4, 5 even.
Sure.
I don't think he's a top, 1, first, second round guy, even maybe cusp of 3rd. But yeah, I could see him being a 5th round draft pick, 4th or 5th. So, and this is split up in 2 sections. So, getting into our wide receivers now: Brown, Godwin, Evans, Miller. All the pertinent guys from Tampa Bay all did okay, I guess. Brown was 62nd ranked overall last year. Did not play for the majority of the season, though. Godwin was number 31. Evans was number 13, which still kind of surprises me, considering Godwin was like number 2 the year before. But yeah, these are still 3 very good wide receivers that can have very good years. But the way that they're projected right now, the way that they're, looking, because Tom Brady likes to spread the ball all around.
They're all in the 30s.
Yeah. Brown is projected to be 31. Godwin is projected to be 33. Evans is projected to be 36 this year. Don't know how that's going to work. I guess Stephen Miller is going to be like 100 plus. I just didn't feel like counting that high.
Yeah, and Scotty
Miller
was one that Brady seemed to love. That was one of his favorite targets, and I picked him up last year. I thought he was going to,
he had a couple of really good games.
He had a couple of good games, and then he kind of fell off. But it's hard. I mean, you're not going to get the playing time that even Tom Brady wants him to have, probably, with all those other receivers on the roster. So as much as he might have potential and be good, he's just not going to get the looks.
No, he will not. Especially when you consider everybody that's out there. For the Saints, really, you only got Thomas. That is the only real wide receiver of note there. Last year, he was 88th ranked after being projected number 2. So whoever drafted him last year in the 1st or 2nd round, good job.
Well, I think it was injuries too.
It was definitely injuries last year for him. So hopefully he can get out there and really play well this year. But again, there's so many questions at the wide receiver or the quarterback position for that team. Do you really trust his number 4 overall ranking for this year, or projection for this year?
I still do. Mike Thomas he's a freaking beast.
Okay.
I don't know. I would still take him as a top receiver, despite the quarterback situation, mainly because there's really not that many other receivers they have on their roster.
Pt.1 Smith, which is not projected in the top 75.
He's just really a solid, he's not going to drop any balls type of receiver.
Just throw it up
Just
and
throw
hope.
it, he'll get it.
Yeah.
So I will still target him.
Okay, let me ask you. Devontae Smith, the other 3 names that are projected ahead of him are gone at the start of this.
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Adams.
Oh, I was like, who's Devontae Smith?
Sorry. Devontae Adams. All the other 3 top guys, Tyreek Hill.
Is he?
He's going to be one of those top guys as well, projected. They're all gone. It's the end of the 2nd round. All the big name wide receivers are gone. Do you pick him up?
1,000%.
End of the 2nd round?
Heck yeah.
Do you pick him up at the end of the 1st round?
Debatable.
Say Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, and all the other big name running backs are gone. 12th overall pick. Obviously, Kelsey's gone.
I don't know. I had to see who's available. I don't know. That's hard to make on the spot.
Definitely. There's a lot of factors. I would take him end of the 2nd round, probably. I would not take him start of the 2nd round or.
I would take him start of the 2nd round. I would do that. If he was my 2nd player, I would get him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could see it back half of the second round. Anything after the first, I guess it would be 18 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him after that, but I personally would not pick him up before then. Robbie Anderson is not projected to have a great year. Last year is number 18 overall with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback. Now he's projected for number 43. And then DJ Moore hit at number 22 last year, projected to be number 27 this year.
I think the 43 projection for Anderson is definitely too low. I think he should be closer to Moore.
I think he's a top 25,
yeah.
At least top 25. I think he's going to be better than Moore this year.
Yeah.
But, personal opinion there. We'll see what happens. Calvin Ridley projected to be number 5 last year. He ranked number 5. So
Consistency.
Yeah, we'll see what he does now that he is the man down in Atlanta.
Yep. Which, I mean, I would take him.
Yeah. No, I would absolutely. I think I would take Calvin Ridley ahead of Thomas. Personally.
I mean, he's a better quarterback.
He's got a better quarterback situation there. And, I mean, when you look at, Julio Jones being on Atlanta the past couple of years, how many touchdowns did he really get?
I don't know.
He was not a big touchdown guy.
Yeah.
I think only one time in his career has he gotten more than 7 touchdowns in a single season.
I think you're right.
He always gets 4 or 5. So all the other guys consistently get the touchdowns. I don't think it's going to change with Ridley. I think Ridley is going to take a step forward in touchdowns this year, and I think he could potentially be a top 3 guy.
I can see it too.
And then Russell Gage on their team. Last year he was number 35 because he had a handful of really big weeks. This year projected to be number 63. So, not much going on there with the majority of that division as far as wide receivers go. Obviously, Tampa Bay is where you want it. Getting into our tight ends, though, Jordan Howard for Tampa Bay, not ranked last year, projected to be number 29 this year. He's coming back from an Achilles tear. So I don't know how much I would trust Jordan Howard. He's a great weapon to have back on the field, but coming back from an Achilles tear?
Yeah, no, that's a big injury.
That hurts.
I would probably stay away. But
especially ranked at number 29, man. You could pick him up free agent, waiver wire.
Sure.
Come week 1, week 2, whenever. And, why lose that draft capital? Gronk was number 9 last year, projected to be number 15. So I think he'll be better than number 15. Not terribly much better, considering, once again, everywhere that the ball's going to go on that team. But I still think that Gronk is going to have a huge touchdown year. If Gronk gets 10 touchdowns, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I could believe it.
Absolutely.
I believe it.
Absolutely. Cameron Brate last year was 35, projected to be number 31. So not the greatest tight end situation there with as far as projections go for Tampa, but still, they have good tight ends, and the only reason why they're ranked so low is because there are so many good tight ends. Varnett from New Orleans, projected to be number 48 overall, and that is the best projected tight end for New Orleans.
Yeah, well,
48.
They don't believe in the tight ends.
They need to, damn quick, man. Dan Arnold for Carolina, not projected too highly either, 27th overall. Last year he was number 21 on a team that did not believe in tight ends. So I think he's got to be better than number 27. Breakout status, I don't think so. But top 15.
He'll be solid.
Top 15. I think he's one of those guys that, you could probably stream from week to week and get you decent numbers. Kyle Pitts is not yet ranked. So apparently a lot of rookies are not ranked in their systems.
He'll be ranked high, though.
He will. I think he's going to be ranked top 5. I really think he will. And then Hayden Hurst for them. Last year he hit number 10. This year he is projected at number 13.
Those are 2 good tight ends that they got.
Yeah, they are. As far as kickers go, don't give a damn.
I don't even.
Don't really give a damn about the kicker situation. Get a kicker. And then as far as the defenses go, not a lot of great defenses. I guess Tampa Bay is ranked to be the second best defense
Their
this year.
defense was pretty stellar.
Their defense was number 9 overall last year. New Orleans was number 7 overall last year.
Yep.
Tampa Bay is ranked or projected to be number 2 this year. New Orleans projected to be number 6 this year. So definitely 2 defenses that you probably want to keep an eye on. I would probably pick up that Tampa Bay defense without question.
Yep.
They seem pretty solid overall. So I would grab them. Atlanta was 24th overall last year, projected to be number 15. I don't necessarily believe that. Yeah, they put a lot of draft capital into their defense, but I don't think they did enough.
Yeah, no, I still would not trust their drafting them at any point.
Yeah, and then Carolina, number 16 last year, ranked to be number 24.
I would trust Carolina's defense, but more than Atlanta, just because of their history of always having good defenses. But
yeah, I don't know which of them I would trust. If I had to get any of those teams in that division, it'd be the Saints or the Bucks. Obviously, last year I drafted the Saints defense. Did not keep them terribly long because they had a bad start to the season, but they had a decent overall year when it all came down to it. So that is our NFC South divisional preview.
Certainly is.
In around 50 minutes, I think. Maybe a little bit less. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at, guys. That's that first division. Next week, we'll be hitting the AFC South and dealing with those teams over there, so y'all can have a good idea of what's going on in the South. Probably hit up the Norths after that, then the East, then the Wests. Finish up with like the AFC West, the team that went up against the Super Bowl champs, the ones that lost it. But yeah, so I guess we'll finish off this episode by once again throwing it out there that if anybody wants to come in, be producer, and literally just use the mouse here that's in this hand over here right now that I cannot bring up, and like scroll through shit for us, that's all we need. That's all we need. Just an extra body. Somebody come in and help out. You don't have to be on camera. I don't give a damn if you're on camera or not. I don't like most of you on camera. Y'all don't have this sort of face. But yeah, so if anybody wants to help, please let me know. And as far as draft order this year goes, I don't want to do like we did last year where everybody does the Wonderlic. No. I do want to change it up a little bit more. And unfortunately, we're not all going to come back into the office, and with people being elsewhere in the world too, we're not all going to be able to get together, unfortunately. So we got to think of something that we can do where it's an even, fair competition. Maybe not competition, but chance, I guess, for all of us. One of the suggestions that I've heard recently is everybody picks a song. The songs go into a playlist. You hit random.
That's pretty cool.
On the playlist, and whoever goes first on the playlist, that's the 12th pick.
That's pretty cool.
And then it works all the way up to the first overall pick.
I like that idea, actually.
So we can do something like that, and we can absolutely have a couple people there to verify and make sure that everything is completely legit, and I'm not trying to skew the numbers in any sort of way. So we can do something like that. But if anybody has any other ideas, I've heard, about people going out to Dave & Buster's, taking $10, and whoever gets the most tickets at Dave & Buster's at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's fun too.
Something like that.
And even for the music thing, you could do some sort of, with the people that we have here, some sort of get together, and you get all the music together from the whole league. You put it into the playlist, you hit that little shuffle, and then you kind of just hang out and listen to the music, and then when the next song comes up, oh my God, it's so-and-so drafting second, and then you keep going and going. But yeah, no, there's some creative ideas out there.
Yeah, no, there are definitely some creative ideas. So let me know if any of you guys think of anything. I would rather not give everybody a test again, but at the same time, hell, I could just give everybody the ITIL practice test and see what happens.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'd screw myself over, screw myself over hard. But or we could just go on rankings from last year, do simple shit like that. I'm trying to make it funner, though, and a little bit more interactive than what most people would think of and do. So let me know what you guys think. Get back in touch with us. This will be going up end of the day today, possibly tomorrow. And yeah, let us know. In the meantime, though, I think we're all good.
We're good.
What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
We're done with week 1 here. Week 1 NFC South preview, all done in the books now. We're ready to go, ready to kick this year's ass. Fantasy football is upon us again. Gonna slap the children in the face and, yeah, kick some.
That might get banned off YouTube.
Yeah, if they take me down, they take me down. No, whatever. I can disperse this inter-office. If they even listen this far into the thing.
Sure.
They generally don't listen this far into stuff. So, but yeah, for my co-host with the most, Mr. Tony S. Burgess, the S this week stands for?
Suckers.
Suckers. Oh, man. And I am Mr. Garrett M. La Laguna at your service, as always. The M this year stands for Mother of God. Football season is upon us again.
There you go.
We're here. We're ready.
And we're back.
Are you guys ready for this? Y'all ready for this? I don't know what I'm doing, but no, we're kicking this year's ass. Have a good one. Dave, join us. Don't quit. Don't be a sad sack. Don't be a spoil sport. Join us. Yeah. We're not going to talk nearly as much shit about you this year. This year is going to be the shit talking of Cody, because he was the one that went like 11, 12, and 1 or something last year. So, yep, no, this is the year of the Cody hate. Cody, coming for you.